Good morning, good afternoon, from whatever place you are catching me from, such as your coach and an accountant in private practice. I would like to take this session to actually take you through what we call an overview of this course. This course, as I've said in the past, is that it is designed as hands-on. It's designed as a practical account. It's designed for those of us who are out there in the field and wondering where will they get the experience. So this has been designed to give you that opportunity online. Hands-on, as it indicates, is actually being able to put your hands on the documents that we are dealing with. So the very first thing that we look at in this course is the source documents. Source documents actually is the key source of data capture in as far as accountancy is concerned. Remember, at the end of the day, this course or the work that you did as an accountant is subject to a very viable activity that will be done by the auditor. You'll want to see from where do you capture the data from, evidence of that data which you have captured in your books of accounts. So it is derived from the source documents. The source document include, in this case, invoice. You know very well that when we sell goods on credit or buy goods on credit, we acknowledge the same through an invoice. It's either you are selling to a customer on credit, so you issue them with an invoice called sales invoice. If you are buying these goods or services from a supplier, or a manufacturer or producer for that matter, you evidence the same by way of purchase invoice. Once goods are delivered to your premises, there is a note called delivery note. Delivery note actually is the note that indicates the nature, the description of the item that you are buying. So these are delivered to the site, signed by the person receiving, and the same document is kept for future settlement. Is called delivery note. It's called delivery note. And we're going to have a separate a discussion and even demonstration of those documents until you're able to touch them with your hands. We'll have them in the program. You can download them and you'll be able to feel and touch them. That's another very important document called delivery note. Once goods are paid for, the goods are either paid by way of cash. In this case, when you pay in cash, you issue a receipt. Or when you receive cash, you also issue a receipt. So a receipt is one of the other important documents that will be retained in the workplace for you to be able to prepare a cash flow. It's called a receipt. So you either have to buy receipt books. If you are receiving revenues from different people, they are receipt books which are either printed or they are designed and the system run for you. Either way, there is going to be a receipt, which this receipt is going to be able to enable us to prepare our cash flow. Or the payment may be made by way of a check. So a check is also an evidence of payment and it's part of our documents. But remember, when you write a check, there are two parts to a check: the check counterfoil and the check leaf. Once you issue a check leaf to the owner or the customer for that matter, you remain with that information that is kept in a check counterfoil. We call that one the check counterfoil. The check counterfoil is so brief that it has the name of the person we are paying, it has the amount, it has with the nature of the payment. And we're going to use this check counterfoil a great deal in preparation of our cash books and even in doing our bank reconciliation. So one of the source documents that we needed here is a check counterfoil. You will see it playing a bigger role in as far as data capture is concerned. You can also settle your payment by way of RTGS. RTGS is called real-time gross settlement. It's a form you fill whenever you are paying transacting through the bank. The bank will enable you to have this form. You put the information on it and you give them a check or even instruct them to pay a certain supplier a certain amount of money. We call that one RTGS. It's one of the evidence of transactions, and it can also be very useful in time of preparing the cash book or doing bank reconciliation. Others may include EFT, electronic funds transfer. It may also include payment vouchers. Remember, in an established organization, there is a document called payment voucher. Payment voucher will evidence the kind of payments you are doing. If you are paying, say, rent, you're going to prepare a payment voucher and attach an invoice from the landlord and have it approved, and a check issued, check number is indicated, and finally it will be stamp paid. It becomes a great source of your cash book. Remember, I said in the beginning that you cannot prepare books of account through just your memory or hearsay or I was told. You as an accountant, you rely more on evidence. You rely more on data that are official, data that are genuine, data that are approved by the company, because that's the source from which you prepare your books. And at the end of the day, the auditor will come around and check the compliance of your documentation with your books. So that is, as far as source documents are concerned, is key for you to understand source documents, because they are going to be the primary data information source to which we prepare our books. The next thing we are going to be looking at